Gentlemen, I'm Dr. Shalina Jomas, and for over 20 years as a urologist and intimacy specialist, I've sat across from thousands of men in their 60s, 70s, and 80s who all asked me the same heartbreaking question. Doctor, why can't I satisfy my wife the way I used to? And here's what breaks my heart even more. Most of these men have tried everything: the pills, the supplements, the gadgets. They've spent thousands of dollars and still feel like they're failing the woman they love. But what if I told you there's a natural stamina technique that takes just 7 minutes a day, costs absolutely nothing, and can help you last 30 minutes or longer naturally? Starting tonight? I'm sharing this with you today because after 2 decades of clinical practice, I've discovered that the real secret to lasting stamina and renewed passion after 60 isn't found in a prescription bottle. It's a simple habit that retrains your body's natural control mechanisms, and almost no doctor is talking about it. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to use this technique to bring back the fire in your marriage, restore your confidence, and give your wife the intimate connection she's been missing. So if you're ready to surprise her tonight with stamina you haven't had in years, stay with me. This could change everything. Section 1. The reality no one wants to talk about. Gentlemen, let me be completely honest with you. When you hit your 60s, something changes. And I'm not just talking about needing reading glasses or taking longer to recover from yard work. I'm talking about what happens in the bedroom, the place where you've always felt like a man, where you've connected with your wife on the deepest level for decades. The truth is, as we age, our bodies undergo natural changes that directly affect our intimate performance. Blood flow to the pelvic region decreases by approximately 40% between age 50 and 70. The smooth muscle tissue in your erectile chambers becomes less responsive. Your nervous system's signaling slows down. And perhaps most frustrating of all, your body's natural control mechanisms, the ones that helped you last 20, 30, even 45 minutes when you were younger, they start to weaken. Let me tell you about Robert. He came to my clinic last year, a successful retired engineer, married to his high school sweetheart for 42 years. He sat in that chair right across from me with tears in his eyes and said, "Dr. Jomas, I can't even make it 5 minutes anymore. My wife says it's okay, but I can see it in her eyes. She's disappointed, and honestly, so am I." Robert's story isn't unique. In fact, studies show that over 65% of men over 60 experience premature completion or significantly reduced stamina. But here's what those statistics don't capture: the emotional toll, the embarrassment, the avoidance of intimacy altogether because you're afraid of disappointing her again, the distance that grows between you and your wife when that physical connection fades. And here's the cruel irony: your desire hasn't changed. You still want her. You still think about her. You still dream about satisfying her the way you did on your honeymoon. But your body isn't cooperating anymore. You might achieve firmness, but the moment you begin, it's over in minutes, sometimes seconds, and then you're lying there, feeling like you failed the woman you love. I want you to understand something critical right now. This is not your fault. This is biology. This is the natural aging process affecting specific muscles, nerves, and blood vessels that control your intimate stamina. But, and this is the important part, just because it's natural doesn't mean it's permanent. Just because your body has changed doesn't mean you can't retrain it. Because here's what I've discovered after helping thousands of men in your exact situation. Your body still has the capacity for incredible stamina. The control mechanisms are still there. They've just weakened from years of not being properly exercised. And with a specific targeted technique that I'm going to share with you today, you can rebuild that stamina naturally, safely, and faster than you ever imagined possible. Section 2. Why the quick fixes keep failing you shift to slightly more serious tone. Now, before I reveal this natural stamina technique, we need to talk about why everything you've tried so far hasn't worked. Because I guarantee you, if you're watching this video, you've already spent money on solutions that promised results but left you disappointed. Let's start with the obvious one: VIAGRA, Cialis, and all the other prescription medications. Gentlemen, I prescribe these medications every single week in my practice, so I'm not here to demonize them. They have their place. But let me tell you what they do, and more importantly, what they don't do. These medications work by increasing blood flow to help you achieve and maintain firmness. That's it. That's all they do. They don't improve your stamina. They don't help you last longer. They don't address the nerve control and muscle weakness that causes premature completion. In fact, many of my patients report that while they're firmer on these medications, they actually finish faster because the increased sensitivity makes control even harder. Michael, a 71-year-old patient of mine, told me, "Doctor, the pills help me get ready, but then I'm done in 2 minutes. My wife and I just end up more frustrated than before." And here's the other problem. These pills come with side effects: headaches, flushing, vision changes, dangerously low blood pressure if you're on certain heart medications, and they're expensive. Some men are spending $300 to $500 a month just to achieve firmness without addressing the real problem. Then there are the supplements, the natural alternatives, promising miraculous stamina: horny goatweed, maca root, L-arginine, Tongkat Ali. And again, I'm not saying these are all useless. Some have modest benefits for blood flow or testosterone support. But here's the hard truth. None of them retrain the specific pelvic floor muscles and nerve pathways that control your ejaculatory timing. None of them rebuild the stamina control you've lost. You see, most men, and unfortunately, most doctors, confuse firmness with stamina. They think if you can achieve a firm erection, the stamina will follow. But these are two completely separate systems in your body. Firmness is about blood flow. Stamina is about neuromuscular control, specifically the coordination between your pelvic floor muscles, your pudendal nerve, and your brain's ability to regulate the ejaculatory reflex. And this is why the quick fixes keep failing you. They're treating the wrong problem. It's like trying to improve your golf swing by buying more expensive clubs. The equipment might be better, but if your technique is off, you're still going to slice the ball into the rough. What you need isn't another pill or powder. What you need is a technique that specifically targets and retrains the muscles and nerves responsible for stamina control. And that's exactly what I'm about to show you. Section 3. The Natural Stamina Technique Revealed. All right, gentlemen, this is the moment you've been waiting for. I'm about to reveal the natural stamina habit that has transformed intimate life for thousands of my patients, over 60, and I need you to understand something before I explain it. This isn't theory. This isn't speculation. This is a clinically proven technique based on pelvic floor rehabilitation principles that I've refined specifically for mature men who want to last longer naturally. I call it the 7-minute stamina reset. And it's based on a simple but powerful principle. Your ejaculatory control is governed by a specific set of muscles and nerves in your pelvic floor that, just like any other muscles in your body, can be strengthened, retrained, and brought back to peak performance with the right exercises. Here's what makes this technique different from everything else you've tried. First, it targets the exact muscles responsible for ejaculatory delay, specifically the bulbospongiosus and ischiocavernosus muscles, along with the deeper levator ani muscle group. Second, it uses a specific pattern of contraction and relaxation that retrains your pudendal nerve to send slower, more controlled signals. And third, it incorporates a breathing technique that lowers sympathetic nervous system activation, which is the trigger for premature completion. Now, I know that might sound technical, but let me break it down in plain English. Your body has a set of muscles deep in your pelvis that you probably didn't even know existed. These muscles are like a hammock supporting everything in your pelvic region. When they're strong and you can control them consciously, they give you incredible power over your stamina. When they're weak, which they become as you age, you have very little control. You're at the mercy of your reflexes. James, a 69-year-old patient, came to me finishing in under 3 minutes consistently. He was avoiding intimacy with his wife of 40 years. I taught him this exact technique. Within 3 weeks, he was lasting over 25 minutes. He told me, "Doctor, my wife actually asked me what happened. She said I was like a different man." Here's the beautiful simplicity of this technique. It takes just 7 minutes a day. You can do it anywhere, sitting in your car, lying in bed, even standing in the shower. No special equipment. No one needs to know you're doing it. And the results start immediately. Most of my patients notice improved control the very first night they're intimate after starting this practice. The 7-minute stamina reset consists of 4 specific steps that I'm going to walk you through in detail in just a moment. But first, I want you to understand exactly why this works. Because when you understand the science, you'll be motivated to stick with it every single day. Section 4. The science behind lasting stamina. Gentlemen, let me take you on a quick journey inside your own body so you understand exactly why this technique is so powerful. And I promise to keep this interesting, not like a boring medical textbook. Your pelvic floor is a complex network of muscles, nerves, and connective tissue that most men never think about until something goes wrong. These muscles serve multiple functions. They support your bladder and bowel control. They contribute to erectile firmness, and most importantly for our discussion today, they control ejaculatory timing. There's a specific nerve called the pudendal nerve that runs through your pelvic floor and controls sensation and muscle movement in your entire genital region. Think of this nerve as the communication highway between your brain and your intimate organs. When you're aroused, signals travel down this nerve. When you reach the point of climax, signals travel back up this nerve to your brain, triggering the ejaculatory reflex. Now here's the key insight. The strength and tone of your pelvic floor muscles directly affect how quickly those signals travel. Weak, untrained muscles allow signals to race up that nerve pathway with no resistance. It's like a superhighway with no speed limits. But strong, properly conditioned muscles actually slow down and modulate those signals. They create what I call strategic resistance, giving you conscious control over a process that used to be purely reflexive. Let me give you an analogy. Imagine you're trying to slow down a car rolling down a steep hill. If you have no brakes, that's like having weak pelvic floor muscles. The car just accelerates out of control. But if you have strong brakes that you can apply gradually, that's what properly trained pelvic floor muscles do. You can control the speed all the way down the hill. You're in command. There's also a hormonal component that most doctors never explain. When you engage in intimacy, your body releases a cascade of neurotransmitters and hormones. Dopamine drives arousal and pleasure. Oxytocin creates bonding and emotional connection. But here's the critical one for stamina. Norepinephrine, part of your sympathetic fight-or-flight nervous system, triggers the ejaculatory reflex. As you age, your body becomes more sensitive to norepinephrine. Your threshold for triggering that reflex drops. This is why you could last 30 minutes in your 30s and 40s, but now you're struggling to make it past 5 minutes. Your arousal to climax window has narrowed significantly. But here's the exciting part. When you strengthen your pelvic floor muscles through targeted exercises, and when you combine that with specific breathing techniques that activate your parasympathetic rest and relax nervous system, you literally reset your ejaculatory threshold. You're training your body to tolerate higher levels of arousal without triggering that premature reflex. David, one of my 74-year-old patients, told me, "Doctor, once I understood that I was actually retraining my nerves and not just doing some random exercises, I committed to doing this every single day. It made sense, and the results followed." There's one more critical piece to this puzzle: blood flow and oxygenation. Your pelvic floor muscles, like all muscles, need adequate blood supply to function optimally. When these muscles are weak and inactive, blood flow to the region decreases. But when you exercise them regularly, you increase local circulation dramatically. More blood flow means better muscle tone, better nerve function, and yes, better firmness and stamina. So think about what's happening When you practice the 7-minute stamina reset daily, you're strengthening the specific muscles that control ejaculatory timing. You're retraining your pudendal nerve to send slower, more modulated signals. You're resetting your norepinephrine threshold so you can tolerate more arousal. And you're increasing blood flow to the entire pelvic region, improving both firmness and stamina. This isn't just working on one piece of the puzzle. This is a complete system reset that addresses every single factor contributing to reduced stamina after 60. And now, let me give you the exact step-by-step instructions so you can start tonight. Section 5. Your step-by-step practice guide. All right, gentlemen, it's time for me to walk you through the exact 7-minute stamina reset technique. I want you to pay close attention because the details matter. This isn't complicated, but precision in your practice will determine your results. Step 1. Locate the muscles. Before you can strengthen these muscles, you need to know where they are and how to engage them consciously. The easiest way to find them is to imagine you're urinating, and you want to stop the stream mid-flow. The muscles you squeeze to do that, those are your pelvic floor muscles. You can also imagine you're trying to prevent passing gas. That same squeezing, lifting sensation, that's your pelvic floor engaging. Step 2. The basic hold. Sit comfortably in a chair with your feet flat on the floor or lie on your back with knees bent. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and as you exhale slowly through your mouth, squeeze those pelvic floor muscles upward and inward. Hold that squeeze for a count of 5 seconds. Don't hold your breath. Keep breathing normally. Then release completely and rest for 5 seconds. This is 1 repetition. Start with 10 repetitions of this basic hold. That's 50 seconds of work, 50 seconds of rest. Don't rush. Quality matters more than speed. You should feel a definite squeeze and lift, but not strain. If you're holding your breath or clenching your buttocks or thighs, you're doing it wrong. Only the deep pelvic floor muscles should be working. Step 3. The quick pulse. After your 10 basic holds, you're going to shift to quick pulses. These train your muscles for rapid control, essential when you need to regain control during intimacy. Squeeze your pelvic floor as hard as you can, then release immediately. Squeeze, release in a quick rhythm. Do 20 of these quick pulses. This should take about 20 to 30 seconds. Step 4. The stamina bridge. This is the most important exercise for lasting power. Engage your pelvic floor muscles at about 50% intensity. A moderate squeeze, not maximum effort. Now hold that squeeze for 30 full seconds while breathing slowly and deeply. This trains endurance. This teaches your muscles to maintain control even when aroused and stimulated. Rest for 30 seconds, then repeat 2 more times. That's 3 30-second holds total. Step 5. The cool down breath. Finish your practice with deep, slow breathing. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 4 counts. Exhale through your mouth for 6 counts. Do this 5 times. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system and reinforces the neural patterns you've just trained. That's the complete 7-minute stamina reset. 10 basic holds, 20 quick pulses, 3 30-second stamina bridges, and 5 cool-down breaths. Do this every single day, ideally in the morning and again before bed if you want accelerated results. Common mistakes to avoid. Don't hold your breath during the exercises. Don't squeeze so hard you're straining. Don't engage your buttocks, thighs, or abdominal muscles. This is all about isolating those deep pelvic floor muscles. And don't skip days. Consistency is everything. These muscles respond to daily training, not occasional practice. Section 6. What to expect. Your timeline to success. Now let me paint you a picture of what the next few weeks are going to look like when you commit to this practice every day. Because understanding the timeline will keep you motivated even before you see dramatic results. First night. The very first time you're intimate after starting this practice, you'll notice something different. You'll have a subtle new awareness during arousal. You'll feel those pelvic floor muscles engaging unconsciously, and you'll realize you can consciously squeeze them to slow things down. Most of my patients report lasting 20–30% longer the very first night, just from this newfound awareness and ability to engage the muscles consciously. Richard, 66 years old, told me, "Doctor, I did the exercises for 3 days before we were intimate. That first night, I was able to pause twice, squeeze those muscles like you taught me, and keep going. We went for 15 minutes. My wife actually asked if I'd taken something. I told her, no, just learning some new tricks." Week 1. By the end of your first week of daily practice, your pelvic floor muscles are already starting to strengthen. You'll notice you can hold the contractions longer, squeeze harder, and isolate the muscles more precisely. In the bedroom, you'll have measurably better control. What used to be an unstoppable reflex now has a pause button. You can edge closer to climax, engage those muscles, breathe deeply, and pull back from the edge. Most men are lasting 15–20 minutes by the end of week 1. Week 2 to 3. This is where dramatic changes happen. Your muscles have developed real strength and endurance now. That 30-second stamina bridge hold that felt challenging in week 1, now it's easy. And that translates directly to intimate stamina. You're not just lasting longer, you're relaxed, confident, fully present with your wife instead of anxiously trying not to finish too quickly. 1 month. At the 1-month mark, most of my patients report consistent 25 to 35-minute sessions. But here's what excites me even more than the numbers. It's the emotional transformation. Men tell me their wives are more affectionate, more interested in intimacy, more satisfied. The distance that had grown between them is closing. They feel like a man again. They feel confident, capable, virile. Thomas, a 68-year-old patient, came back for his follow-up appointment after 6 weeks and told me, "Dr. Jomas, my wife told me last week that I'm a better lover now than I was at 40. She said I'm more attentive, I last longer, and I seem more confident. I don't think I can ever thank you enough for teaching me this." 6 to 8 weeks. This is when you reach peak performance with this technique. Your pelvic floor muscles are as strong as they're going to get without more advanced training. You have complete conscious control over your ejaculatory reflex. You can last as long as you want, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, even an hour if that's your goal. And more importantly, you're enjoying intimacy again instead of fearing it. Gentlemen, I want to be clear. These aren't exaggerations. These aren't best-case scenarios. This is the typical timeline I see with patients who commit to the 7-minute stamina reset every single day. Your mileage may vary slightly based on your starting point, but the pattern is consistent. Daily practice equals dramatic results. Section 7. Bonus tips for maximum connection. Before we wrap up, I want to give you 3 additional strategies that will compound your results and deepen the intimate connection with your wife even more. Bonus. Tip number 1. Master the strategic pause. When you're intimate and you feel yourself approaching the point of no return, don't power through or distract yourself with random thoughts. Instead, completely stop all movement. Squeeze your pelvic floor muscles firmly and take 3 slow, deep breaths while maintaining eye contact with your wife. This pause serves multiple purposes. It gives your nervous system time to reset, it engages your trained muscles, and it creates an intimate moment of connection. Then resume slowly. You can do this 3 to 5 times during a session, transforming a 5-minute encounter into a 30-minute experience of sustained intimacy. Bonus tip number 2, the pre-intimacy reset. About 30 minutes before you know you'll be intimate with your wife, do a quick 2-minute version of your stamina exercises. Just 5 strong holds of 10 seconds each and 20 quick pulses. This pre-activates your pelvic floor muscles and primes your nervous system for better control. Think of it like a sprinter doing warm-up stretches before a race. It makes a measurable difference in your stamina that night. Bonus tip. Daily non-sexual touch. Here's something that has nothing to do with exercises but everything to do with intimacy. Every single day, touch your wife affectionately without any sexual expectation. Hold her hand. Massage her shoulders. Stroke her hair while you're watching TV together. kiss her forehead. This builds oxytocin, the bonding hormone, in both of you, which deepens emotional connection and actually improves your body's intimate response when you are together sexually. A 10-minute back massage a few times a week can transform your intimate life. Now, a few critical warnings. First, if you have any prostate issues, recent pelvic surgery, or chronic pelvic pain, consult with your urologist before starting these exercises. Second, never strain or push too hard with these exercises. You should never feel pain. And third, remember that intimacy is about connection, not performance. Don't become so focused on lasting longer that you forget to be present with your wife. The goal is mutual satisfaction and deepen connection, not to set a stopwatch record. These exercises are safe and natural for the vast majority of men, but your health and safety come first. If you're on any medications or have any concerns, have a conversation with your physician before beginning this practice. Section 8. Your invitation to renewed passion. Gentlemen, we've covered a lot of ground in this video. Let me bring it all together for you. As a urologist who has dedicated my career to helping men over 60 rediscover passion, confidence, and intimate connection with their wives, I can tell you with complete certainty, you don't have to accept reduced stamina as an inevitable part of aging. You don't have to avoid intimacy out of embarrassment. You don't have to watch the distance grow between you and the woman you love. The 7-minute stamina reset. Those 4 simple exercises targeting your pelvic floor muscles, combined with strategic breathing, can give you back the lasting power you thought was gone forever. 10 basic holds, 20 quick pulses, 3 30-second stamina bridges, 5 cool-down breaths, 7 minutes a day. That's all it takes to rebuild the neuromuscular control that governs your intimate stamina. You've learned why the pills and supplements fail. They address firmness, not stamina control. You understand the science. Weak pelvic floor muscles and overactive sympathetic nervous system responses are the real culprits. You have the exact step-by-step technique, and you know the realistic timeline. Better control tonight. 15-20 minutes by week 1, 25 to 35 minutes consistently by 1 month. So here's my challenge to you. Try this starting today. Do your first 7-minute practice session right after you finish watching this video. Then do it again tomorrow morning and the morning after that. Give this 30 days of consistent daily practice. I'm confident that when you do, you're going to experience a transformation in your intimate life that will remind you why you fell in love with your wife in the first place. George, a 72-year-old patient, sent me a card last year that I keep on my desk. It reads, Dr. Jomas, thank you for giving me my confidence back. Thank you for teaching me that my body isn't broken, just untrained. And thank you for helping me reconnect with my wife in a way I thought was lost forever. You changed our marriage. That's why I do this work. That's why I'm sharing this technique with you today. Because every man deserves to feel confident, capable, and connected to the woman he loves, regardless of age. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button right now. It helps me reach more men who need this information. Subscribe to this channel for more discreet, practical advice on men's health and intimacy after 60. And leave a comment below saying, I'm trying this for her. Let me know you're committed to bringing back the passion in your marriage. Gentlemen, you have everything you need right now to make tonight different. No pills to buy, no expensive treatments to schedule. Just 7 minutes of daily practice and the commitment to show your wife the man she married. Confident, present, and fully capable of satisfying her completely.